Hey everybody, welcome to the DeLouise book series. I'm Christina, KRISTINA. This is the last time I figured I'd break out the shirt. What do you think? It's the last time I can wear it. Technically, it's too late to wear it. And it's too late to play this.
Hasn't it been a wonderful year, Mrs. Claus?
Might as well get my use out of it.
Santa, and I'm happy to have shared it with you.
And there's no one I'd rather ring in the new year with than you, my dear. Happy New Year!
Okay, it's over. And this is the DeLouise book series. I'm Christina, KRISTINA. This is where we read books, talk about books, series books, no special effects going on here, as you can see. This is the last time I can show this. They were reading books. And so everybody's doing all these. Oh, before I forget, please like and subscribe. I need all the likes and subscribes I can get. I'm just not getting any. I was hoping for Christmas makeover 1,000 subscribers. Obviously didn't even happen. Hell, I didn't even make 150 till after Christmas. And then I had a whole splurge of subscribers, and then they all unsubscribed. So I don't know. Maybe it was for a 24-hour Christmas gift. I don't know. You know, you look at those people that have millions and millions and millions of subscribers, and then you look at their videos and like 1 or 2% have actually liked. I don't know why we hold our likes hostage like that, but we do. So everybody's been doing their top 10 lists. So one lady was doing their top 10 books, and I'm like, I can't do top 10 books because I'm a series person. I read series. And I didn't read too many individual books this year. I mean, I read over 300 books, about 30 to 40 different series. So that's when I decided it was easier for me to tell you my top 10 series. So we did Laurel, K. Hamilton, Anita Blake. There are currently 30 books in this series. It starts with Guilty Pleasures and Laughing Corpse and Circus of the Damned. I reviewed all of these earlier on my series this year, so please check those out. I also showed you the comics, pictures of all those characters this year. So Anita Blake is a necromancer. She's a vampire executioner. She had some difficulty with John Claude in the beginning. The author had intended on killing him off and then decided not to. And she's going to be marrying him in 2026. There was big hype about this year, but it didn't happen. And the author has stated that she's currently working on another book that is not Anita Blake. And she's also hinted that she wants to do one more book before the wedding book. And that's going to be another Jason book. That'll be the third Jason book. So you're looking at least 2026 before you actually see a wedding book in this series. The first 9 are really good. She's solving murder mysteries. She's helping the police out. After Obsidian, if you like Edward, read Obsidian. If you don't like Edward, just skip it. It's no big deal. But when you start with Narcissus in Chains and Cerulean Sins and Incubus Dreams and all that, you better be ready for the sex. That's all. It's just a tremendous amount of sex. And she fights the partner thing, and by book 30, she's got 20 or 30 partners. So like I said, the first 9 are your core group that introduces most of your core characters, except Narcissus in Chains introduces Micah Callahan, and he's a big part of the series going forth. So then we did Lindsay Sands, the AREGENEAUs. I love this family. I think it's the first 10 or something are the core group that introduced the family members. And the mother, Marguerite, is a matchmaker. And these are just really good. They drink blood out of the bags, and they have the nanites, and it's just. But you start with A Quick Bite and Love Bites and Single White Vampire. I even got out my roses, my fake plastic roses for these. I just grabbed these off the shelf. Tall, Dark, and Hungry. I got to take down my decorations before I can do Flashback Monday. And A Bite to Remember. And there's more. There's over 20, 30 in the series here. So it's a good series. Our other series that we didn't do too many, was the KERRELYN Sparks series. I did about 10 of these before but it's Roman Dragoneski. He owns a vampire empire, and he produces synthetic blood, and they fight the malcontents. Those are the ones that still drink off the neck, and they discover ways to have children, and it just, I mean, you gotta live with it. I prefer the more traditional Sands, but it's good. It's a good, cute series. It's really light reading. I recommend it. Sands first, or even Laurel first, and then these two. We will do. I didn't do it this year, but we will do it next year. Charlene Harris, Sookie Stackhouse. We'll get to that. We are also going to do a major good series. Sherilyn Kenyon's Dark Hunters. We will do those. Dark Hunters, Dream Hunters. We will do those. So that's next year. So then I had it. What did I do with it? I'll have to do one of those things. I thought I had it. No, it's Molly Murphy. We also did Carolyn Haines. I'll do one of those things. It takes extra time, and I don't have too much talent. But this video will be X number of minutes long, but it will take over 4 hours to upload because I lack the computer technology to do it faster. You can have the fastest modem in the world, but if you've got a dinosaur computer, that's what the speed you're going to get is the dinosaur. So I thought I had it, and I guess I don't. It's around someplace. I know I have it. Carolyn Haines, Sarah Booth Delaney series. Her and Tinky are private investigators, and each book they solve murder mysteries. And they're in Zinnia, Mississippi, and she's got Jitty, her ghost, who lives in her house, who gives her hints, very vague hints, likes to dress up as historical characters. She still hasn't told her boyfriend yet. We have character progression. She was dating this one guy. They were getting kind of serious. Things didn't work out, but you've got to read the whole series in order to follow the characters. That's what I like about series. You got to read the books in order to get the character progression. Like in Laurel with John Claude and Richard and Zabrowski and Dolph and Micah and Nathaniel and Jason. Like I said, Jason's getting his fourth book. He's a good character. She really likes him. There are 34 books in the Carolyn Haines series as of now. It starts out with Dem Bones. I'll have one of those things going here. It's a really good series. We went through them all. As new ones comes out, we'll check them out. Same with Laurel, when a new book. We just did Slay and Smolder, so check those out. Plus, we did all of the Laurels this year, so check those out. We did all of the Sparks in the Sand, so check out those videos. Another mention, RHYS, BOWEN, the Molly Murphy series. She's an immigrant from Ireland. She's on her way to the boat. This lady gives her two children and her passages tickets to get to New York to go meet the husband because she's dying. And so Somali takes the two kids with her, forms a relationship with them, goes to New York. There's a murder on the boat to New York, and she starts solving mysteries, and she decides she likes being a detective. So she's the unofficial detective. These were really good. Please check out all of these videos. This was a really good series for the year. It was a very good series. She does meet. She ends up having a relationship with a police officer who really doesn't like her doing what she's doing. Duh. How many times have we heard that before? But she likes it. She's made a career out of it. She's made enough to pay her rent. She's good at it. So you got to check that out. I wanted to. What was this? Oh, okay. So then we have. Well, I have this one. I have the newest one. Andrea, Penrose. There's not too many in this series. I think there's. I had discovered this by accident. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 books so far. This is a really good series. A lady is part of society, but because of a little bit of a scandal, she dropped out. And now she's pretending to be in the slums, and she investigates murders as she writes political satire cartoons. She meets up with this guy. So it's Wexford and Sloan, and they solve mysteries, and people actually start coming to them for help. And they have the 2 orphan kids. And the housekeeper assistant. She's really good. I really enjoyed this series. You will have to read those, watch those videos to talk about the individual books and the individual characters. This was really, really good. And I have this rule. If you can read a book and you put it down and you can tell what it's about, it was a good book. If you read a book and you put it down and you're like, wait a second. Oh, yeah, it wasn't a good book. I've read all these series, some of them months ago, and I'm telling you off the top of my head, because they were that good series, because I enjoyed them that much, that I remember the series going forwards. So this is a really good series. I really enjoyed it. My Laurels will go back on top there. My Janets are going to go that way. We're going to talk about her in a second. So we have a couple of, I want to mention JANA DELEON, Gator Bait, Swamp Sniper, and one of the newer ones, Fortune Teller. Fortune was in the CIA. She was working undercover. She blows her cover. She kills somebody. Now she's on the most wanted list of killers. They put like $1 million ransom on her head, dead or alive. So her CIA director hides her out in Mississippi, and what's the town in Sinful. She's in Sinful, and some of them don't believe her story. Some of her believe her story that she's the librarian, but she's not. She gets a cat, Merlin. Ida Bell is leader of the Sinful Ladies, who becomes a really good friend. Gertie Herbert is also her friend. The 2 ladies work with her in conjunction. They they become the Swamp Team 3. Carter is her love interest. He's the sheriff of the town. Walter is Gertie. He's Carter's uncle, and he's Ida Bell's love interest. Emmeline is Carter's mother. Allie is the enemy Cecilia's niece, but she's also Fortune's best friend. The hysterical antics of these ladies is unbelievable. Please check out those videos I did. They're really funny. The books are so funny, and I really, really like them. So, that it was a really good series. So, you will see a book review on this coming soon, fortune teller. I've been busy with Janet. Another good series is Lorna Barrett. This is the first one. We will be doing these. I will do these. I started doing them. A Questionable Character, I think, is the latest one. Two sisters. Haven't Got a Clue, I believe is her bookstore. And the other sister, Angelica, and she owns a lot of property in town. That's a little bit of a mystery, and they solve murder mysteries every book. It's a really good series. They have a cute, tight cast. An elderly gentleman who works in the shop. She's got a young lady that likes to wear thrift store clothes and dress up in characters from previous historical books. It's really good series. You'll have to check. They do a lot of baking, so you might gain a few pounds in this, but they do a lot of cooking in these books. Mr. Everett is the elderly guy. The other thing, we did this one, we did Fortune, we did Carolyn, we did Lorna. Okay. Now, we are currently doing Janet Evanovich. We have read all 30 of these. You will see, I'm currently in the middle of this one. You will see this video on Saturday. We will have finished Janet. Stephanie Plum is a bounty hunter, and Lula is her partner, and Connie is the office manager. Vinny is the boss. Grandma Missouri is your comedy relief. Joe Morelli is her on again, off again boyfriend. Ranger is special forces. He also owns a security firm, and he's her on again, off again lover. And he also protects her. And I have said this in videos galore during this year, that Ranger might be a better fit for her as a spouse because he's there, he understands her more. He can afford to give her cars. On the other hand, the character specifically stated that while she's extremely attracted to Ranger physically, she can't get near him without having to touch him and all that kind of romantic angst stuff. But Joe makes her feel comfortable. And she feels comfortable and she feels at home with Joe. However, Joe put a billiard table in his dining room, and that was a major signal to her that he wasn't quite ready. If you didn't know it by now, Janet is my second best series. Before we get to the number one, I wanted to do a quick shout out to, and I'll do one of those posty things. Steve Berry. Did I write it down? There are 16 books in the Cotton Malone series. It's political mysteries. It's really good. I accidentally stumbled upon Patriot Threat this year, and that book was awesome. You'll have to check out my video on that. Because it evolved around the American Revolution, and I am a daughter of the American Revolution. I'm a historian for my chapter. And because I was actually able to look it up on our website, and the public can access the website, that the gentleman, the French gentleman, is a DAR patriot. He's a recognized DAR patriot. and most of the Patriot Threat book can be proven. Yes, Steve did put a little mystery on it. He just added his own, God, the light is his own twist to some of the story. But the hardcore facts are true about the dollar bill and the Mason sign on the back of it, because the guy was Jewish and he was French. And it's such an intriguing novel. You will have to check it out. It's once Malone was once a member of the elite intelligence divisions within the Justice Department. Malone is now a retired bookshop owner in Denmark, but when his former boss, Stephanie Nelly, asked him to track down a rogue North Korean who may have acquired some top-secret Treasury Department files, the kind that could bring the United States to his knees, Malone is vaulted into a harrowing 24-hour chase that begins in the canals of Venice. But I'm telling you, it's an awesome, The Patriot. It was just a really awesome story, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the fact that I could prove it all, you will have to check out that video. I went bonkers during the video, just having with all the proof and the pictures and stuff like that. I showed all the diagrams. It was great. Another quick shout out. See, if you can put down a book and you can remember the book, it was a good book. Another quick shout out, and I've mentioned this book to tons of people. Oh, well, I'll do another shout out after this, but The Lost Apothecary. This woman had made plans to go to London with her husband for their 10th anniversary, and she catches her husband sleeping with another woman, so she goes to London by herself. And she's outside her hotel, and she sees this guy who invites her to, I forget what it was called, to go into the Thames and to pick up the trash and stuff, the litter, the archaeology. You weren't allowed to dig, but if it was laying on the surface, you could pick it up. And so she decides to go, and she picks up a little apothecary bottle, and she traces the history of the apothecary bottle and to the shop that still exists, because it's around the bend and because it's in a dark alley in a back corner. It's just stood the test of time. And when she gets into the shop, nothing has been touched in the shop for over 200 years. It's just the way the owner left it 200 years ago. And she unravels the mystery there. It's historical, it's genealogical, it's history, it's mystery. Sarah Penna, The Lost Apothecary, you have to check it out. It's so good. And check out my video for that. One more series check out before we get to my number one series. Anne Hillerman, she writes the Chi and Lee Porn series. They're cops, and they're out in the desert, and it's Sergeant Jim Chi vacation to a beautiful Antelope Canyon, and Lake Powell has a deeper purpose. He's on a quest to unravel a sacred mystery his mentor, the legendary Lieutenant Joe Leaphorn, stumbled across decades earlier. That was the first book I read of the series, and then I went back and checked some of the earlier ones out. But the first one I read was The Sacred Bridge, and it drew me in, and it was awesome, and you will have to check it out. They're detectives. I'm not sure why she was turned down for a detective position. That was kind of sad and hurt. So we'll have to wait for future books on that to see what happens. Now, if you didn't know by now, and I've said it because we've read over 50 books this year, but if you didn't know it, my favorite author, my favorite series in the whole wide world is J.D. Robb. It starts with this book, Naked in Death. We have reviewed all of them. I've got a few more to go to do videos on in January before we get to the new one, Ransom and Death. But Sunday, look for this one. Next Sunday, a week from today, Secrets in Death. That'll be up. I'll have this read. My other videos are spaced out, so that will be seen next Sunday. And 3030 will be seen Saturday. That's when the rest of the Stephanies will air by then. But my number one author, let's do this one. Lieutenant Eve Dallas is a lieutenant in the New York City Police and Security Department. She's married to the richest guy in the entire world, Rourke. My feet fell asleep. Rourke, and Mavis is her best friend, and Peabody is her partner, or will become her partner. Peabody comes in book 3 or 4, and McNabb will be her partner. He also works in the electronic division of the police department, and Feeney is her mentor, and Mira is the department shrink. Whitney is her boss. Tibble is the big boss. We will encounter Crack and his girlfriend and his situation. We will Mavis, a rock star, and they met by grifting. She was a grifter. It'll be mentioned a gazillion times. Leonardo, her future husband. Bella, Nadine First, the reporter, who eventually writes the books for on the Dark Horse series, Delusion and Death. You'll have to check it out. It's a really good series. The characters revolve. My foot just fell asleep. Ow. And it's a really good series. I've done all the books. I talk about the characters in depth, how much I love them all, how much they've progressed and grown. Trueheart, Baxter, Carmichael, Santiago, all of them. Her team. Somebody posted it the other day. I should have wrote it down. They will solve your murder, whether you're poor or rich, because you could get dead. It's a really good slogan. I don't know it offhand, but this is my favorite series in the whole world. There is no better series for me. But I'm doing this series. Well, I've got about 10 books to go before we get to the new one. And so look for those in January. Those will be a bulk hit in January. We'll go through those. And my co-host will be here. And you'll be able to see the books. They won't have decorations over them. So I hope you enjoyed. This is my favorite series. I could talk about this for hours. The characters are so real to me. And if you can, do the audiobooks. Susan Erickson does a fabulous job. And if you read the Janet books, Lorelei King does a fabulous job. So please hit the like and subscribe and let me know I'm doing a good job. It's all up to you guys. It is. I hope you like the J.D. Robb, because we're going to be doing a lot more of them, because it's just my favorite series in the whole wide world. So I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you heard my podcast, because some people tell me it just sucks. Some people tell me it's great. It would be nice to get those 1,000 likes this year. I don't see it happening, though. It took me 12 months and just to hit 150. You hear all those stories out there, but anyways, I wish you all a happy new year. I won't have to wear this top again for another 12 months. I hope you don't have hangovers, but so have a good one.